Vermillion Enterprises. Today is June 7th, 2024. Still a wild ride on the precious metals train. Silver's down $1 for the day already, which puts it somewhere around $30 some cents. And gold's down like $42 or something like that, which puts us somewhere around 2,330, give or take. So wild swings up and down. Which is kind of interesting. It's makes it difficult for people to pick their points to where they want to get in or get out at. But nonetheless, it makes it for an interesting business to be in at the moment. So the point of this video today is twofold. One is I got a very interesting voicemail from a client of ours last night. I thought I would share that with you guys first, and then two, kind of parlay that into a different topic that we've been getting a lot of questions and comments about lately on multiple of our multiple videos that we've recently done over the last week or two. So first, let's start with the voicemail that I got last night. I'm not going to say their names, but I'm going to read you the voicemail as it comes, as it was transcribed in our Google Voice. So, hey Brian, this is so-and-so calling you from Wisconsin. Yeah, I just had a question. I know I've dealt with you guys before and found you guys exceptional service, honesty, and integrity. We appreciate that greatly. I'm just selling off a small amount here in Wisconsin, and I'm bringing some odd weight size that I bought from the Max. I'm not sure what that means, and my LCS here, so my local coin shop here, says it's because it's odd shaped and had weight. So it's weird transcription here. Yeah, they want to pay me almost $10 under spot, and I don't know if that's something shops are doing it or if it's crazy or what it is. If that's the case, I just round up all my oddball stuff. I even brought in a 25-ounce Silvertown bar today. And the same thing, $9 and some cents under spot. They told me that they were odd shape and I'd have to wait. So I guess you could just tell me give me any insight into that. I would have really appreciated it. So much thanks, Brian, so forth and so on. So basically the guy is saying that he's trying to take odd weight shaped silver bullion that he's purchased along the way to his LCS, his local coin shop, and he's getting offers that are like $9 and $10 below spot per ounce on these oddball shape, oddball size material. So what does that mean? So when I read that for the first time, the first thought that came into my mind is that, okay, there must be a very strict reporting or / holding period in the state of Wisconsin that LCS have to follow. So for example, up until this time last year in the state of Florida, if we bought precious metals in the way of bullion, so if someone came in and sold me a 10-ounce silver bar, for example, we'd have to write a ticket up and hold that bar for 30 days before we could sell it by law. In case the item was reported stolen, the victim would have time to come in and claim it. Fortunately, about this time last year, our governor, Ron DeSantis, got rid of that law. So we no longer have to hold or report bullion products here in the state of Florida. So my first thought was, okay, in Wisconsin, they have to do that. That there's some weird reporting law that says they have to hold all precious metal purchases for 30 days or for some extended period of time. So I was thinking to myself, well, if I still had to hold precious metals today, precious metal bullion pieces today for 30 days, what would I pay for them? And because one customer yesterday sold us 4 1-ounce gold bars. If I had to hold those gold bars for 30 days in today's precious metals climate, with gold being over 2,300, I honestly don't know what I would pay for them, and or if I would even buy them, because in 30 days, wow, can a lot change in the gold and silver market. Hell, in the last 24 hours, gold's down almost 2%. So extrapolate out that 30 days. God only knows what it will be on, was it today, June 7th? What will the price of gold be on July 7th? Who knows? So, and that's when I would be able to sell those gold bars that I bought yesterday. Now, so that was my first thought. So I did a little digging. That appears not to be the case in Wisconsin. It does not appear that they have a 30-day hold on bullion products. Okay, so that's not the case. Because I could see if a shop had to buy, if a shop bought precious metals and they had to hold silver bullion bars for 30 days, I could see them being $9, $10 back, because what could happen in 30 days? But it appears not to be the case. So that leaves, in my mind, really two things that could be happening. One is, okay, worst case scenario, the shop is just being really greedy and wants to just make a 33% basic profit return, which that, unfortunately, that can happen. There's no law, there's nothing that states that a shop has to pay X number of dollars or be percent back of spot when they're buying their bullion. So it can happen. There can be some really egregious offers out there. Or two, they're just not interested in buying off-shape, odd material. And I've seen that before. I've seen it where shop owners just don't want to carry anything that's not mainstream. And so that's their kind of, that $9, that $10 offer back a spot is kind of their, I just don't want it price. If I got to take it, this is what I'm taking it at. Now, that to me, in our situation doesn't make sense because we are able to move quite a bit of material. A 25-ounce Silvertown bar is it's a little odd, it's a little off, but that's still relatively mainstream. That's something that if it came into our shop, we would pay the spot price minus $1 per ounce on it, and then sell it. I'd probably treat it like a kilo bar and just sell it at spot just to get rid of it. But it's not something I would be actively trying to stock either, if that makes sense. But I have seen a bunch of odd weight stuff come in that is like, we'll see. For example, these custom bars, this bar is 13.27 ounces. Yeah, that kind of stuff we really don't want. And that's the kind of material that goes and gets melted at the refinery. But that could still be bought at, 97 to 95% of melt and still be relatively, competitive. So being $9 and $10 back of spot on silver, to me, it's one of two things. It's the shop being greedy, or two, they just don't really want it, and that's their I don't want it price. If I'm going to buy it, this is what I'm going to pay for it type price. We see that in the collectibles market all the time. You get low grade collectibles. It's like, we really just don't want it because it takes up space. If we got to take it, this is our price type of thing, and typically it's not very competitive. But that's the collectibles market too. Bullion market is kind of harder to wrap your head around that, but it can and it does happen. We see that more in our industry with type coins than anything, because there's a lot of type coins out there that are just slow movers, anchors, if you will, and oftentimes don't get bought at rates that really, we just don't care about. So that can happen. But bullion is kind of hard to wrap your mind around, because in a refinery will pay you at least 95% on your silver bullion at least at this point in the game, with immediate payout. So it's either they're trying to be greedy, or we just don't want it. So what do you think about that, Tim?
Makes sense.
Any other thoughts in your head as to why a shop would offer $9 to $10 back per ounce on silver?
On that, no.
I couldn't think. My first thought, like I said, was the hold period. But after that, so in the state of Florida, pawnbrokers do have to hold all purchases for 30 days. So if you go into a pawn shop in the state of Florida, let's say you sell them a 1 ounce gold bar, they have to hold that gold bar for 30 days. So and before they can legally sell it, that's in their pawnbroker statute. So, of course, they're going to be way back a spot on that, because they got to do two things. One, they got to protect themselves from a falling market, and two, they still got to make profit for the shop. So if the market falls 10, 20, 30%, they need to still be able to make profit for the shop and protect themselves at the same time. That's just an unfortunate casualty of being, dealing with state statutes that are arcane. So It does happen. There are other states that do have to hold all bullion transfers for periods of time, not always 30 days, but I believe there are some 7 and 14-day periods out there. I believe there are some 9-day periods too. So, the shops have to protect themselves. It's just the nature of the beast. Just like some states have to charge, or not charge, but collect sales tax on bullion purchases, some don't. It's just different states have different statutes with regards to reporting and holding laws on precious metals. And that kind of leads us into this, what I've laid out here on the table. So in the last week or two, we've been getting a number of inquiries regarding, hey, can I trade in material for material that I have that I no longer want for bullion products? And of course we do that. We do that a lot throughout. Every week we do that actually in various ways, whether people are sending in their scrap jewelry, which is kind of what I put a demonstration of out here today, and converting that either into cash, which is mostly what we do, but a lot of times people will turn that into bullion products too, whether it's silver or gold. And I kind of put out a little demonstration here today of that. So and this is something that Tim and I have been talking about a lot lately. But so what I've done here is I put out 4 pieces of jewelry that came off hold today that we purchased 30 days ago, because in the state of Florida, when we purchase jewelry, we have to write it up and we have to hold it by law for 30 days before we can do whatever we want to do with it, whether it's resell it or just melt it or whatever. So come on in here, Tim. Like this bracelet right here. This is a bracelet I bought 30 days ago yesterday. So it actually came off hold yesterday. So that means we would have bought this, what, June 6th, June 7th, something like that. And now, I'm sorry, not June 6th, June 7th, May 6th, May 7th. And now it being June 7th, I can actually do whatever I want with this. So this is a little 10 karat gold bracelet. When I put this together, gold was at $2,333. So we pay 90% of value on scrap gold. So this bracelet, we would have paid $276 for it if gold was $2,333. I don't know what gold was 30 days ago, but that's what it's valued at today at 90% of value, which is what we would pay for it if it came in a shop today. So it weighs 6.3 pennyweight. Gold value at 90% is $276. So what would that get you, Tim, in the way of bullion? That would get you, what do I got out there?
Got some skulls.
Yeah, I got 3
and some
ounces,
1 ounce
7
bars.
ounces, 11, so 276 divided by 11. Yep. So we got, let's see, 3799 times 31.1 times 9. Yeah, that gets you about 9 ounces of silver. This guy is a 2 ounce, so you got 3, so you got 2, 1, and then you got another 6 there, so you got 9 ounces of silver there. So that's about what that would get you if you wanted to trade that for precious metals. I threw a couple oddball things out there just to show what forms of silver can come in. You get 1 ounce bars, and you got a 2 ounce skull and a 1 ounce skull there. So it's kind of unique stuff, but fun stuff at the same time. To me, it's a silver. I don't care what it looks like. As long as it's stamped 999 fine silver, that's all I care about. Then we got this 10 karat gold band. It weighs 1 pennyweight. It's worth about $44 in today's market at 90%. So you'd get an ounce of silver and plus some cash, or you just add more to it and get more bullion. So this one little band works up to be about $44. People don't understand how sometimes this stuff really adds up. And that equates to an ounce of silver plus some cash. And then this 10 karat chain weighs 10.2 pennyweight. So that works out to be about $447 is what the payout would be at 90% when gold's at $2,333, which would get you about 14 ounces of silver in today's market, give or take. And then the last there is a 14 karat gold bracelet, weighs 12 pennyweight. And at payout on that would be somewhere around $734 with gold at $2,333, because we pay 90% of value on carated gold. And that would translate into you gaining about 23 ounces of silver in today's market. So it kind of gives you a visual representation, a visual demonstration of how the exchange can work and how especially gold jewelry. When gold's over $2,300, people sometimes don't realize how fast that adds up. And when we're buying gold jewelry, of course, what we have to do is first thing is make sure it's gold, right? A lot of plated gold filled material out there, or bunk costume jewelry. Then we separate it based on the carat, 10, 14, 18, so forth and so on. And then we apply whatever the current rate of gold is at the time. So that's how it's bought really anywhere. A lot of people, a lot of different shops use different ways of measuring gold. It can be done in grams. It can be done in penny weight. You can use OZT. Doesn't matter. You're always going to get to the same answer at the end, depending on what, regardless of the units you're using. So this is a large part of our business when buying gold across the counter or mail in from customers. And so most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, we just cash it out for the people. But about 5% of the time, they do convert it into other precious metals forms that they prefer stacking. So, hey, this old time bracelet, I don't, obviously no one's ever going to wear this thing again. It's completely outdated. It's basically just a chunk of metal sitting in a drawer somewhere. Let me convert that into something I do care about. I want to preserve the precious metal content that I have. I don't really want to cash it out. I'd rather just preserve that. So let me turn that into either other gold or silver holdings. And so that's a very common thing. We're happy to do that. It's a win-win for both parties, us and you guys included. And it's a way of just preserving your metal holdings without converting it into cash. So especially on stuff that's broken or you can't wear anymore, you don't like, it's just outdated. A lot of the gold jewelry that we do purchase here in the shop is material that's been handed down or was being worn in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And jewelry is like anything else. Styles come in and out of timeliness, if you will. So there's things that were really popular in the 70s, 80s, and 90s that are just completely out of style now, and people just don't wear anymore. So a lot of that is what we cash in, whether it's been inherited, passed on down the line to people's sons or daughters, or if it just was originally theirs and just no longer going to wear it for whatever various reasons. So a lot of people do cash that out. We're always happy to help. We pay 90% of its value. So if you bring in $1,000 worth of scrap gold, for example, we'll pay you $900. And you can either just cash that out in a way of cash money or a check, or you can convert that into bullion products, whether it's silver or gold or platinum. We're happy to do either. And of course, we ship throughout the country via USPS or UPS. So Tim and I have been rolling around this idea the last couple of weeks regarding this, because we have been getting a lot of questions. Can I convert my scrap gold into bullion rather than just cashing out? Absolutely, we do that all the time. So anything you want to add to that, Tim, because you've been thinking about this too lately?
It sounds like you covered everything.
All right, well,
And then some.
and then some. Well, that's why I get paid the big money, folks. So what do you think about that, Tim?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yesterday we did another buy it now video. It was more successful than the one that Tim did on, was it Monday or Tuesday, Tim?
Monday.
Monday was a snooze fest. Yesterday's video was definitely much better performing. It appears that people are more interested in buying slab pre-33 gold versus silver eagles, which blows my mind. But definitely seems to be more popular. Is that your take on it too, Tim?
Yeah, definitely. Slab pre-33 is definitely selling faster than slabbed American silver eagles.
Yeah, it kind of surprises me. But we're going to continue putting deals together for you folks. If there is anything that we can do for you here in the shop, we'll be happy to help, whether it's mailing out or you guys just coming in across the counter. Right now, we are out of 5-ounce and 10-ounce silver bars. We're actually out of all bars. We're out of all silver except for 1-ounce rounds and American silver eagles, I believe, at this time. So I think we do have some junk 90 left too. But I do have some 10-ounce bars coming in, and they'll probably be here Monday or so. Today is Friday. They were shipped yesterday, I believe. So yeah, if there's anything we can do for you, watch the silver and gold markets. I think they are going to be incredibly volatile through election. Remember, this is election year. So what happens during election year? We're not going to be shitting on any political party here. This isn't a pro anything. This is routinely happens every election year, right? The party that is in the White House will put out economic numbers that are that look rosy, right? They'll massage the numbers because they want to try to get their party reelected come November. So you're going to be seeing a lot of interesting information coming out regarding statistics on the economy that may or may not be true, but will definitely have an impact on the precious metals market. And I read a very interesting interview. I don't know if it came out 2 days ago or 3 days ago. It was one of the financial officers for, I think it was Schwab. It could have been Morgan Stanley. I gave an interview with Yahoo Finance, and they were talking about how $7.3 trillion worth of cash is going to be coming out of the money markets over the next 3 or 4 months, and they're largely infused into the stock market. So the stock market is set to explode towards late summer, early fall here in the United States. That was their take on it. $7.3 trillion worth of money. That's a shit ton. And that will, if that does happen, that will invariably have a very strong effect on the precious metals market, the housing market, of course. And their main take was that the Fed will be able to cut rates come August, September, whenever their next meeting is. I forget what month they said that was going to be. So very interesting. So if that comes through, and also with the economic picture that the current administration is going to paint in this country, whether it be accurate or not, is going to have a very significant effect on the precious metals market through November. Undoubtedly true. So why do I say this? Expect a very wild ride over the next 5 to 6 months here in America with the price of gold, silver, and platinum, and we're already seeing it. We're seeing dollar swings almost daily, it seems like, with silver. Gold's moved 2% or almost 2% this morning. So that's huge. That's huge. So we bought those gold bars that I talked about yesterday at a significantly higher price than it is right now. I think gold was $23.68 when I bought those gold bars yesterday. At the time of this video, is $23.33. So we're already breaking even or losing on those gold bars. So it's a very wild and interesting time in the precious metals industry. So buckle up. It's going to be fun and it's going to be interesting. And we're going to see wild swings on paper come in our holdings. So that goes for everybody. And could be fun. What do you think about that, Tim?
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be frustrating for a lot of people too, especially the newbies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to understand. So one day you're up, the next day you're down, and the next day you're back to where you started. So, but you can't look at it if you're stacking in a small window. You got to look at it over long term. So you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, either Monday or Tuesday, if all holds. And if there's anything we can do for you, please reach out to the shop, ask for Tim, and we'll get you taken care of. We appreciate all the transactions, folks. If there's anything we do for you, please, we're more than happy to help. You guys have a great weekend and try to relax and enjoy yourselves.